University of Arkansas professor trying to create a vaccine for COVID-19, and to do this, he has been given special access to one of the country's most advanced supercomputers from the National Science Foundation. 5 News reporter Bailey Devane shows us how.
The race is on to find a vaccine for COVID-19, but before researchers can create a drug, they need to find out just how the virus infects human cells. A research team at the U of A has shed some light on just how quickly the infection can spread throughout the body. The supercomputer technology granted to Dr. Mahmoud Maradi allows the professor to see a 3D visual simulation of the COVID-19 molecule. It's a model you're probably used to seeing, that round spiky ball. The research actually focuses on the virus's spike protein, which allows it to attach to healthy human cells and multiply.
Particularly, we have been comparing this particular novel coronavirus to the older coronavirus, which was the cause of the 2003-2004 pandemic.
The U of A team has completed their research over the spike protein, revealing the strain of coronavirus begins infecting the body in microseconds, which is far faster than previously thought.
If you consider, the whole environment of a protein, then you're talking about millions of atoms, so millions of degrees of freedom, and for computational chemistry, that essentially means you need to solve millions of differential equations, and that's what supercomputers help us do.
The next step is publishing their research. Then they can start working on a vaccine. According to Maradi, their research is different than any other.
So a lot of other people are trying to find drugs that somehow prevent this protein from binding to the human cell. What we are trying to do is we are potentially trying to come up with a drug that would stop this protein from being activated altogether.
The U of A research team meets every day to discuss their findings, again trying to get their discoveries published as quickly as possible so they can move on to the next step, finding a vaccine. In Fayetteville, covering news where you live, Bailey Devane, 5 News.
All right, Bailey, thanks. Dr. Maradi says the research done by the U of A should be published by the end of the summer. Then they'll begin drug trials to try to find that vaccine.